It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Hello again, everybody. Johnny Styles here from the Wellness Observer Live. We're going to be talking a little bit about the New York Pro preview and something along the lines of contract signing in the Ifbb Pro League.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
It is Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. Again, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Thank you for being here, people. This podcast, livecast, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, it's been everywhere, even Instagram, and it's been a hit. Thank you so much for all your comments. And let me tell you, I was not a fan of Spotify. I used to only listen to my music on iTunes. But let me tell you, I think Spotify is catching up to something. It's really cool. You can listen and you can watch the videos on the app. And if you lock your phone, you can still hear the video. You don't have to keep your phone already open. So it's really cool. Thank you guys so much for all the messages, for all the shares. And as it turns out, right now, we should be here every Monday and every Wednesday, coming to you with a little bit, a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new, a little bit of the in-between news and updates from all things wellness. If you saw my story a while ago, right here on the Wellness Server Live, I posted the following, and I'm going to read it to you guys. A recent situation came up in the sports entertainment world, very similar to what happened a few weeks ago with contracts in the Ifbb Pro League. Remember that? Imagine, if you will, you paid for a festival because you really wanted to see an artist or a band, and during the festival, they end up and left. You aren't getting a refund, and you're not getting anything. No notice, no nothing. That's why they did this. It's wrong and unprofessional. Fans matter. If at any point you can't make it to the show or to the venue, it's up to you to let the fans know. That way, they either decide to go to the show or maybe save money and not go, because their favorite superstar won't be in attendance. You dig? And that's something that I posted very early in the morning, and I wanted to talk about it earlier in the month, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, with the whole Yorishina situation and Pittsburgh Pro situation, Angela Borges as well. And I was still waiting from iTunes to give me like the green go ahead light so you guys could have this weekly podcast. And I'm not going to get too into details because people in the industry have already covered it. But, when it comes down to Ifbb Pro League contracts, you're a professional. Same thing as you were working or doing the sports world like Major League Baseball or the NBA, golf, soccer, volleyball, all these professional sports, they have contracts. And if you sign a contract as a professional, you are signing your name on that dotted line. That means you're doing the show. That's your compromise to the show. I know competitors that even before they sign the contract, they either schedule their tanning or they schedule their makeup and their hair. That way they're committed on doing the show on that specific date and they sign the contract. What happened here was that neither Jarishna or Angela at the time mentioned, people thought they were going to defend their title. People thought they were going to do battle on both shows, meaning Pittsburgh Pro and New York Pro. And it wasn't until I published that she wasn't doing the show that this whole thing came about, and she did a story where she posted a text message from that she had sent to Jay and Mannion, and all these things happened. What I wanted to say in this podcast is that since we're going to like the New York Pro preview in Pittsburgh just happened, you don't know as an athlete, as a professional, you really don't have you can't grasp how many people follow you and how many people are willing to travel to see you live and in person in the shows. So if you sign a contract and it's your name, your brand, your life, and you know you're doing the show and then something happens and you cannot make it to the show, I think it's up to you or your team in this industry to make a statement, and now more than ever, let your fans and your followers know exactly what's happening, and you're not gonna be in that show. Back in the day, when athletes didn't have social media, they had to do something called a press conference, and that way they let all the media and the press that I can't make it to the show. A family member died, and it's hitting close to home. My prep is not gonna be the same. I suffered a car accident. I suffered a knee injury. I suffered a back injury, and you don't need to show proof, but that's the way it was done before we had social media. Now you have something in the palm of your hand that enables you to show the world and be transparent. You have fans that buy airplane tickets, hotel tickets to go see you, no matter what, no matter if you win or you lose. These are people that follow the industry, and it's up to the athlete to take responsibility and say, you know what, I'm not gonna do the show, and I have an injury, this, that, and the other. Should the league take into consideration this things that's happening nowadays? Absolutely. I think moving forward, the league has to have some type of repercussions, because it does happen in the NBA. It does happen in Major League. If an athlete misses a game for whatever reason, he gets fined. There's some repercussions to it. So if you're planning on doing a show and for some reason something out of the ordinary happens, then make sure you tell the world, tell the league, talk to the proper people, and then talk to your fans. Don't stay in the dark. Just don't say nothing, because in the end, you have people that follow you, and it sucks that some people, won't have their money back. They're just going to go to the show and find out, hey, I thought this person was going to be in the show. And then when the list comes out, the name is not on the show. Speaking of the list, I told you guys Monday that I wanted to wait a little bit into the whole New York Pro preview, because in my sources told me that there might be a few names added to the list. Well, as I come to find out, the list has been updated, and it's on the website, and you can see only one name added to that list, and that name is Cassandra Gillis, straight from Canada. And I kind of told you guys about it 2 weeks ago when I posted a picture saying, would we see this rematch again in New York? And again, it's one of those things that at the moment, I haven't received confirmation from anybody else that I thought was going to be in there, including the Battle of Texas overall winner, Victoria Puentes, which I thought this was going to be her pro debut, and I thought this was going to be the show for her to showcase the potential she had. As of this moment, I haven't heard absolutely nothing from Victoria or from her camp, so I'll keep you guys updated. If we're going to talk about the New York Pro, this is another show just like Pittsburgh. I would say Pittsburgh and New York are two of the biggest shows in the entire IFBB Pro League. These are the shows that people need to do in order for you to test yourself and to see where you're at, not only for yourself, but also in front of the judges, that most of these judges are the elite of the crop of the whole judges system here in the IFBB Pro League. The numbers have been low. And in America, I think everybody is suffering, and I think still there's some travel bans in the world, and it's still hard. It's still, I know everybody. I know somehow, some way, people are still suffering from the economy, and just people finding out that when you're a professional and you got to do these shows, it costs money. It costs money, and these athletes have to pay some expenses. Remember, not all of these athletes are sponsored athletes. Some of these athletes have to pay their dues. They have to pay, their flights, their check-ins, their tanning, their makeup. And if you do one show, it's fine. Maybe it's fine. But then you have to do another show, and then you got to do 3 shows. And this is not a guarantee you're gonna win the show. You're just gonna go in there and see where you're at. Maybe you win the show. Maybe you lose the show. And then what? So I strongly believe that the year has started off slow for a lot of people. This is people behind the scenes and people on stage and off stage. But I do believe it'll pick up. I do believe that it will pick up. And as we're seeing now, like for example, Raphael Zen is going to be here in New York, and she's going to be competing, and she's from Brazil. And another competitors are coming from Brazil. I know they got to go to Mexico and then probably come here. I don't know how the whole ban system is happening nowadays, but I believe that it's getting better. So I'm a very optimistic person, and I think it's gonna get better. So that was my little rant on the whole contract signing situation. I'm not gonna sit here and talk forever about it. Again, I do think it's BS. It's BS that a competitor has to stay quiet the entire time instead of communicating to the world, hey, listen, something happened, something came up, and I'm not going to be able to do this show. If you are thinking about watching me at this show, I won't be at this show. I won't be on stage. Maybe I'll be on a booth, but I won't be on stage. But those are my 2 cents in that. If something does happen again, now we have a live stream podcast that I can talk to you guys straight in person. The New York Pro will have a pay-per-view. I'm just waiting to get the updates on the timing and the situation so I can let you guys know. What we did for Pittsburgh was I did a live commentary play-by-play, and it went great. It went great. We had a lot of people there chatting in the YouTube box, and we had a great time. I was assessing all the competitors real time, and I was showing you guys little clips on how the stream was looking so you guys could see that the stream was working and it was actually a good live stream, good coloring and everything. So we plan on doing that again and being with you guys and posting up here the videos of the girls doing their walkthroughs and the pictures and everything, the whole 9 yards. So stay tuned to the page. I will keep updating you guys on timing, what time, and exactly where you can find it. It's going to be on the YouTube page. But again, it's cool to have this happening now in a live stream event. As far as the New York Pro, we have now 6 competitors, adding Cassandra Gillis to the lineup. And here's what I have to say about all of them. Number 1, Sonny Andrews has to come in to the show looking better than she did in Pittsburgh. She's had a little bit more time to nail her conditioning off the stage. So when she comes back on stage, she can fill up properly and still have those crazy lines that she can get. If she fixes a little bit better her posing, it should be a sight to see. And if she won in Pittsburgh, she can win here. Now, coming in second place at Pittsburgh with Cassandra Gillis. Cassandra has had even more time to work on her conditioning and even work on her posing, especially her quarter turns. Now, if Cassandra comes in like she did the night of the Pittsburgh Pro Show, it's going to be really interesting because she came in harder at the night show. So be on the lookout for those two to do battle one more time. Listen, people, it's not going to be an easy show. No matter if it's 5, 6, 7 girls, not even 4 girls. It's not going to be an easy show. Okay? Now, the dark horse of the situation And you guys have seen me talking about her in the Wellness Observer Live's Instagram, is Jasmine Payne. Jasmine Payne, don't be surprised if she can take the show, okay? Jasmine Payne really, really impressed the hell out of me. Not only in her presentation, but her overall look, okay? She was full in the areas that she needed to be full, and then in her upper body, she wasn't big like a couple of the other girls that we see on stage, they look like figure girls that drop down to wellness. Well, Jasmine absolutely doesn't look like that. And I could make a case that she could have placed third in Pittsburgh and they gave her fourth. But all these competitors have been given 14, 15 days to get better. And I know they want to win that championship. For many, many years, winning Pittsburgh and winning New York were the shows that gave an athlete some type of value coming into the Olympia. And as time has passed on, we can see that many of the winners and the past champions have gone to win the Olympia, have gone to win the Arnold Classic. So these girls are coming in for blood. One thing is, I like to tell people that when wellness athletes compete against each other, if you're there, you can feel the actual animosity on stage. Sometimes bikini girls are really nice and, they're really nice. We're family, blah, blah, blah. With wellness, it's a little bit different. We have some Latinas in there. We have some blood in there. So it's going to be really interesting. I like Jasmine's look. I really do. And it's up to what's going to happen on Saturday. Raphael Zen, she's coming in from Brazil. She has always brought in great conditioning. I think from her, it was more like a size issue. Sometimes she looked really, really conditioned and really, really small-ish on the smaller side, but she always brought in good conditioning. Now, if she has got, I'm not going to come here on the microphone and say, she's small, blah, 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 because that's what happened to me when I critiqued Francielle many years ago, because she was small. She was really small. But what she did do is she put on an enormous amount of muscle in her lower body to fit her shape. So when I saw her in person, it looked like a completely different athlete. So I haven't seen Raphael in a while. So what I've seen from her, again, is she brings in crazy conditioning. So I'm not concerned about her conditioning. I'm concerned more on her size. How is she going to look next to Sonny? How is she going to look next to Cass? And even next to Jasmine, for that matter. I haven't seen Madison Luna. I know she's in that list. I haven't seen much from her, so I can't really come here and comment on her. I'm not going to be that type of person. But let's see what happens. You never know. Judy and Winston, it's one of those things. Upper body needs to be smaller. I would like to see that shape become a little bit smaller. Her legs did look pretty good last time I saw her. I'm not going to knock her legs down. So again, like I said in the beginning, it's one of those things that you don't know exactly what's going to happen. You might have your favorites, like myself, Sonny, Cass, and Jasmine. With those three up there, you can make a case, flip and flop, depending on who shows up what that day. In my honest opinion, they're going to bring those three out here and they're going to just have a blast with them. Meaning they're going to put them next to each other, one in the middle, one on the corner, one in the middle, one on the corner. They're going to make them walk straight to the back, walk straight to the front. And in the end, it's going to be a tight race. This is Cassandra Gillis' time to prove that she can hang with Sonny Andrews if she brings in a better conditioning from the way she looked at the Pittsburgh Pro at the night show. For Sonny, she just had to get better. Her overall presentation has gotten better as she has competed more and more time. And Jasmine Payne has to come in here. I would say Jasmine Payne doesn't have to do a lot. If she came in slightly harder, and remember, this is New York. This is the home of Steve Weinberger. And as history has shown, girls are a little bit harder overall in the show. Bikini, women's physique, women's bodybuilding, men's bodybuilding. Everybody in New York has to be like, the New York crowd has always had something for hard, grainy muscle. Obviously, I'm not talking about hard, grainy muscle in our wellness class, but it's New York and the muscle rules in New York. And in our category, for that to be seen, you have to have the proper lines, which comes with conditioning, but you gotta have that smooth, beautiful, full look. I don't think Sonny still peaked in Pittsburgh Pro. I think she'll peak in New York. But again, same thing with Cass. I don't think Cass peaked properly in the prejudging in Pittsburgh. She started to peak later onto the show and probably was a little bit too late. If Cass is going to do some damage, she needs to do some damage on conditioning and posing, because I don't think she can match Sonny's size at the moment. And Jasmine, hey, she's the wild card. Mark my words, you never know with her. She has a great look and an overall great wellness future. This has been Johnny Styles. This has been episode 3 with the New York Pro preview. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can let me know. Remember, you can watch this on YouTube, on Instagram, Spotify, and you can listen to it on Apple iTunes. If there's any other place you guys want me to post this, you can certainly let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Johnny Styles, the Godfather of Wellness. Let's do this.